Alright, welcome back to another episode of my movie review series, episode 293. Now, last week I said that I was going to keep it in the superhero field, keep it Marvel, and going to go back to the past to save the future, and change the present altogether. Well, yeah. X-Men. X-Men Days of Future Past. Yeah, man. This is great. What can I say about the movie? It's great. This movie is great. I mean, yeah, they took the concept that I wanted to see from X-Men Last Stand. Not only that, but they took that concept and they pieced together two generations of X-Men movie history, I guess you could say. Yeah, the continuity of it, and they brought back Brian Tyler. Yeah, that would be cool if he did the music in this. But no, they brought back Bryan Singer to direct it. And yeah, X-Men Days of Future Past. In 2014. Yeah, Hugh Jackman, James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, Jennifer Lawrence, Halle Berry. Anna Paquin. What does she do in the movie? And Elliot Page, even though in the movie he was very much female and he was Ellen Page, but Elliot Page, not to offend anybody. Peter Dinklage, Ian McKellen, and of course Patrick Stewart. Yeah, I tell you, man, yeah, two generations come together. The concept of what I really wanted to see from Days of Future Past, not Days of Future Past, in the Last Stand, X3, Last Stand, the concept I really wanted to see. And yeah, they just took everything, put it all together, spliced everything together, and at the end, we got a big fuck you to X-Men 3, Last Stand. That shit never happened. Oh man, that was great. But yeah, man, I tell you, this movie though, instead of having Kitty Pryde, Shadowcat, Elliot Page's character, instead of having her go back into the past to try and fix things up, they take Wolverine body as the vessel, and his mind will be going back into the past, into his young 1973 body, even though he was still an old man at the time. but yeah, he was much more younger 1973 body. But yeah, all of this just to thwart an assassination attempt. Yeah, man. Yeah. Mystique, man. Mystique, where she was she went off on her own. She broke away from Magneto, went off on her own. Yeah, she got herself a crew. Yeah, she was about to take out Peter Dinklage's character and the president. She's about to, she's about to for history altogether. But yeah, but yeah, it ain't let that happen though. Yeah, Charles Xavier, young Charles Xavier. Yeah, he ain't let that happen, man. He couldn't let it happen. He couldn't let it happen. Yeah, he pretty much talked her out of it. She ain't pulled the trigger, and everything that was happening in the future or in the present at that certain point, everything that was happening, it didn't happen. Yeah, everybody all just faded away. I tell you, man, using the Sentinels in this movie, like I said, the concept that I wanted to see in Last Stand, using the Sentinels in this movie, oh man, long time coming. Long time coming. I mean, but the way they use the Sentinels, even though yeah, we saw their beginning process in 1973, the way they used them in the future or in the present, the future present, the way they utilized them, oh boy, there was no winning that fight at all, not at all. I mean, yeah, the humans, yeah, they had their plan and they utilized it very well with taking the secret of Mystique's power, as she can shapeshift into anybody she want, taking her power and mimicking not only their form but their mutant power, taking her DNA and putting it into the Sentinels programming. Now the Sentinels can adapt to anybody's ability. Okay, hell, Colossus fighting it in the future present. Colossus is fighting it, and then son of a bitch, the goddamn Sentinel, it forms organic skin. It forms organic metal over its metal over its metal skin, metal form. It's just a goddamn titanium Sentinel now. I mean, Jesus. But yeah, yeah. Seeing one Sentinel turn into fire while Iceman is trying to take care of it. It turns into fire, and it's beating Iceman's maneuvers to the punch. And then we have one Sentinel that is getting roasted, but he turns into ice. I mean, Jesus. The whole thing, man, the whole thing was just, that was a huge nightmare. That that entire that entire future, future present, that entire thing was a huge nightmare. And none of the X-Men were going to live through that. None of them were going to live through that. I mean, hell, we saw Storm die in that whole scenario. Yeah, Storm died. A few characters that we didn't really get to know in that future, but they will be familiar to the comic book readers. A few of those characters have all died. You know, and we saw all of our familiar faces from X-Men 2 and X-Men 2, X-Men 3. We saw all of our familiar faces in those movies. Yeah, they all tried to make an effort in taking out all these Sentinels, and they all just got slaughtered. They got slaughtered. And yeah, yeah. By the time they came down the hall, they was going to go for Kitty and Wolverine. And Wolverine, he was still laying on the bed. He was still laying well, not the bed. He was still laying on the slab while Kitty was keeping his conscience awakened. But they were going for her. They're going for both of them. And damn it, Mystique did not pull the trigger. She dropped the gun, and they all just faded away. But yeah, I tell you though, yeah, that was a nightmare scenario. The whole thing. Okay, that point of the movie, it was a pretty good superhero horror movie. But yeah, great stuff, man. Great stuff to come out of this whole thing. And yeah, you see a lot more. You see a lot of Easter eggs. I mean, if you're familiar with the comics, and then yeah, there's a certain point where Wolverine he got these rods and stabbed in, ran into him, and he is underwater, and it looks like the adamantium skeleton was being pulled out of him. Back in the comics when Magneto fucked Wolverine up bad, and he just pulled the adamantium skeleton out of his body. And man, yeah, yeah, in the comics, yeah, that shit happened. Yeah, he just pulled the adamantium skeleton out of his body. He ripped his bones out of his own body. Man. So yeah, when Wolverine had the rods in him in the movie, when he had the rods in him and he's underwater, there was a shot where it looked like, shot that looked like in the comics. So yeah, that was a nice little familiar thing there. But yeah, man, I tell you, yeah, seeing how the Sentinel started and how it was going, it was just so 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 bad, so mean, so nasty, so scary. But yeah, it was so good though, so very good though, man. Could not get enough of this. Cannot get enough of this movie. It is a pretty damn. This movie is damn good shit. Okay, a straight up 5 out of 5. You know, from beginning all the way to the end. You know, I mean, the image of Colossus getting pulled apart by those Sentinels. I mean, Jesus. Good thing he did have his organic metallic skin on them because they just one end and the other they just pulled them apart literally. Jesus, no blood, but still, yeah, he had the organic skin, so yeah, no blood, but still, Jesus, that was gruesome as shit, man. That was gruesome, graphic as hell, but so fucking cool though. Yeah, one sinner comes up behind Storm and just stabs her. Man, there's no way the X-Men is going to come out of this alive. And they didn't. Not in that time frame, no. But once Mystique made the right decision and yeah, dropped the gun, once that happened, none of that shit really mattered. None of that shit really mattered. Everything up to that point did not matter. Yeah, when Wolverine woke up in the present, in the brand new present, he woke up, everything is different. Kids is in the hall, he's at the school. Kids is in the hall. You know, Beast is walking down the hall. You know, we see Kelsey Grammer comes back as Beast. You know, one good thing from Days of Future, one good thing from Last Stand to come into this movie. But here's another good thing to come into this movie. Both, well, you know, great to see Storm alive. You know, great to see Halle Berry in anything. You know, you know, us brothers. You know, we love Halle Berry, so you know, great to see her in anything. You know, but yeah, but yeah, great to see Storm alive. But it was really great to see Jean and Cyclops alive, because you know, seeing them and seeing how both those characters were treated in X-Men 3, The Last Stand, X3, The Last Stand, seeing how both those characters were treated. Oh man, that was just highway robbery. So yeah, seeing them, you know, just show up, you know, you know, Wolverine here, he was about to touch Jean, see if she was actually there, but then Cyclops stops him. Whoa, take it easy, bro. Yeah, good to see you again, Scott. Yeah, Wolverine, yeah. Wolverine, yeah, that's not your girl. That's not your girl, Logan. Okay, that's Scott's girl. Gina's not your girl. But he would never realize that. But yeah, you know, seeing Wolverine and Xavier reunite, you know, Wolverine wants to know what happened after 1973. The last thing he remembered that he was drowning. What happened after 1973? Yeah, and that part in Xavier's mind clicked, and he just says, "Welcome back." Oh man, yeah, welcome back. All right. Yeah, they have Anna Paquin mentioned, but we did not see her in the movie. Well, we did not see her in this movie, in this particular cut. But then there's another cut out there called the Road Cut, and yeah, she played a bit of importance in that version. So I'm sure there are people out there. Yeah, they got both cuts. Yeah, I did not see the Road Cut. Unfortunately, I lost the Cinemax subscription on the very same day that the World Cup was going to be premiering. I lost the Cinemax subscription, so unfortunately, I did not see the movie, that version of the movie, of this movie, that version of this movie, I did not see because I lost the Cinemax subscription on that day of the premiere. So one day, hopefully, soon, hopefully, whatever, I will check out the Road Cut. Is it on Disney Plus? Oh, it should be. But anyway, yeah. But yeah, you know, X-Men Days of Future Past, you know, this movie is 100% awesome. 100% awesome from beginning to end. Surefire 5 out of 5, man. 5 out of 5. This movie, man. Yeah, that's my review, Jack, and I'm sticking to it. Now next week, man. Next week I'm going back into the horror field, man. It's a little bit early, but hey, I had some things to I had some loose ends I needed to tie up, you know. So yeah, pre-recorded next week, and where I said next week, I said what I said. So yeah, pre-recorded. It was still October at that time frame. So what I said next week? I said Check out my other shit right here. Subscribe to me right here. But in the meantime, in between time, Jack, this show is off.